Hello there. Welcome to my views and news. An Eritrean opposition group has formally established its headquarter in Ethiopia. Ethiopia Eritrea relations are very tense these days. Ethiopia is backing Eritrean opposition groups. Eritrea is also in contact with Ethiopian opposition groups. But it seems that now Ethiopia is overtly, openly backing those Eritrean opposition groups which are working to dismantle Eritrean government, which are working to remove Isas Afwerki from power. Secondly, was TPLF held Women's Forum in Mekelle. It seems that TPLF's Women versus Gita Choreda's Youths is the new unfolding development in Tigray. Let's start with yours. An Eritrean opposition group has inaugurated its office, its headquarter in Ethiopia. Interestingly, no one covered this news, especially Ethiopian news sources, Ethiopian opposition news sources as well. Maybe they are not following the activities of Eritrean opposition groups in Ethiopia. It just shows the uh, level of tension between the two countries. Now, it's not a secret that the two countries are backing groups against each other. So far, the hostility is not as intense as it used to be when EPRDF was in power. But the way things are progressing, the hostility is set to continue, maybe is set to intensify. In recent months, we saw the activities of three Eritrean opposition groups in Ethiopia. Brigade Nehamedo held two meetings in Addis Ababa. One of the meetings was held very close to Eritrean embassy in Addis Ababa, just a stone throw away from Eritrean embassy. Ethiopian government hosted a meeting of Eritrean Brigade Nehamedo opposition group. Brigade the leaders from Europe traveled to Ethiopia for that meeting. So twice Brigade Hamido met in Addis Ababa. BN Brigade Hamido activists were seen taking out a rally, waving Brigade Hamido flags, blue flags on the streets of Addis Ababa. Then Red Sea Afar Democratic Organization met in the Afar region of Ethiopia. Taggy transitional government in Eritrea, another Eritrean opposition group, also held a meeting in Addis Ababa. Now, fourth Eritrean opposition group, which has been active in Ethiopia and which has held some meetings, is Eritrean Afar National Congress, EANC. EANC 2 days ago inaugurated its office, its headquarter in Samra, Afar region, Ethiopia. Red Sea Afar organization, Rasado, which is an armed group, it is also operating in the Afar region. EANC has its leaders and followers in Europe, Canada, America too. ENC is not in favor of the establishment of an independent Afar country. No, it wants an autonomous Afar zone under a confederation with Eritrean government. ENC says that the rights of Afar people are being violated by Eritrean government. It wants affairs of Eritrea, affairs of Ethiopia, affairs of Djibouti to be in one autonomous state. By the way, Ethiopia is backing ENC, but ENC has its claims to Ethiopian afar territory as well. If it demands the establishment of an afar autonomous state, it would like Ethiopian afar region to be part of this autonomous state, just like ONLF wants Ogaden. Ogaden zone, uh, if it happens, it will include parts of Ethiopia, parts of Somalia. That is why both the countries tried to crush ONLF in the past. Now Ethiopia is using ENC against Eritrea, but if one day ENC becomes strong and somehow it manages to be strong in Eritrea, don't you think that it will then make claims to Ethiopian territories as well? Then Ethiopia will start fighting ENC, other Afar groups. But now Ethiopia wants to use ENC, Brigade Hamido, Taghi, Rasado against Eritrean government. That is why these Eritrean opposition groups are freely operating in Ethiopia. They're allowed to inaugurate an office. It's clear that they are being given space, they're being given resources to operate in Ethiopia to destabilize Eritrean government. By the way, Ethiopia accuses Eritrea that Eritrea is also destabilizing Ethiopia by backing Fano and other armed groups. So back to square one, the two countries fighting through proxy. So far, fight is not armed conflict. They're just organizing opposition groups on their soils. Secondly, was TPLF held a women's forum in Makale yesterday. Fatma Gebrek Zaber, party's senior leader, member of party's executive committee, central committee, chaired the forum of TPLF women. Discussions were held there. Why was there need for this type of forum? It seems that TPLF has made some decision. That is why 2 days ago, parties, senior level and mid level leaders held discussions in Makale, and that was followed by this women meeting in Makale. Debretsion, when he addressed the meeting 2 days ago, he said that TPLF has formed a new strategy, peaceful political strategy uh, against Tigray interim government, which is illegal, which has no right to be in power. Getachew has no right to be in power. TPLF Getachew is mobilizing youths, and TPLF Debretsion is mobilizing women. The Debretsion group used women against Getachew when Getachew tried to deliver a speech in Axom or Shere, I think. That meeting of Getachew was stormed by women activists. Same happened in Degra too, where women stormed a meeting of TPLF Getachew group. So women activists will be used by TPLF against Getachew group. Getachew is trying to organize youths against TPLF Debretsion wing. Nothing seems to be happening in the right direction for peace and stability in Tigray. Tensions, political friction set to continue and maybe worsen between the two TPLF wings in coming days. Thanks for watching.